Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tech Tide Updates channel. Big news in the space world today. SpaceX has just been awarded an 8-launch, $733 million contract by the U.S. Space Force. This is part of an ongoing effort to shake up the competition in space launches. The info comes from a great article by TechCrunch, I'll link it below. Now, let's dive into what this means for SpaceX, the Space Force, and the future of space missions. So, here's what's happening. On Friday, SpaceX won an 8-launch contract worth $733 million, funded by the U.S. Space Force. This is part of the National Security Space Launch Phase 3 Lane 1 program, a project aimed at making space launches more competitive. Of the 8 launches, 7 will be for the Space Development Agency, and 1 will be for the National Reconnaissance Office, all using Falcon 9 rockets. But don't expect these launches right away, they're slated to happen no earlier than 2026. Now, let's break down the Space Force's program a bit more. This Phase 3 contract is split into 2 lanes. Lane 1 is for lower-risk missions that stay in near-Earth orbit, while Lane 2 handles the heavy lift, more demanding missions. SpaceX is going to be busy with Lane 1 for these particular launches. But here's where it gets interesting. This contract isn't locked up for just a few players. SpaceX is competing with United Launch Alliance, ULA, and even Blue Origin, which still hasn't made it to orbit yet. Despite that, they're in the running too. The Space Force isn't done yet. They've said they want to see increasing competition and diversity in their space launch providers. So, while SpaceX has won big this time, this pool of companies could expand, and new players will have the chance to bid annually. The total value for Lane 1 is expected to be $5.6 billion over the next 5 years. In fact, this Phase 3 Lane 1 award period runs from 2025 to 2029, with the possibility of a 5-year extension. And over that time, the Space Force expects to award at least 30 missions to launch providers. So, SpaceX will definitely have more competition as new launch systems come online in the next few years. So, what does this mean? SpaceX is once again at the forefront of military and national security launches, but the competition is heating up. With new players entering the market and the Space Force opening up bids regularly, it's going to be interesting to see how the next few years play out. Will SpaceX keep dominating, or will we see other companies rise to the challenge? And if you enjoyed this update, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more tech and space news.